What's going on, and welcome back. For those of you that are out there wondering, why is he always wearing like a gray shirt in a lot of his videos? And no, gray is not my favorite color. It's just, these are my at-home relax shirts, you know what I mean? Like, they're comfortable. I like wearing these shirts, you know, and I'm at home relaxing, and right now I'm at home relaxing. So for those of you that watched last week's video, all know that last weekend was our 8th annual disc golf tournament that we have here. I signed up for what they call MA40s, which is, you know, I was going to be playing in a division of, you know, with guys my age, but amateurs like myself. So I got to the park Saturday morning, and I had just started warming up, you know, to get ready for this tournament. And the tournament director says, "Hey, I need to talk to you real quick. There's only two players. You have to have 3 players per card." He goes, "There's only 2 players signed up right now for MP40s, which are the pros in my age group, but you know, they take the game a little bit more seriously than I do. Or not only that, they're a lot better than I am. Let's put it that way." And he asked me, would it be okay if would you like to move up? You and the other 2 guys that are in the MA40s, would you guys like to move up to the pros? That way we can have a card. I was like, sure. I'm always up for a good challenge, you know. This is my home course. I'm always up for a good challenge. You know, I went into this tournament confident that I was gonna do really well. You know, I'm usually shooting 4 or 5 down every time we play around. Not every time we play around, but you know, even 1 down, 2 down, somewhere around there. It's very like it. Recently, it's gotten like kind of like rare that I shoot, you know, over 5 over or whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure, man. You know, I'll get into this. I'll get going with the pros. You know, I'm confident that I'll do good. You know, like I said, it's my course. How can I do bad? You know, I'll just play like I always play, and you know, I'll place. That was my thing. I didn't know if I was gonna get first place or what. I just wanted a place. So with that, we started. Me and a couple of other friends started warming up or whatever. And right before we started the tournament, the wind picked up. I mean, it got windy. We're talking about 30, 35 mile per hour winds. Maybe gusts up to like 40, somewhere around there. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, this is going to be brutal. And let me tell you, it was brutal. It was very brutal out there. And this was the first time I've played with like guys. Well, I played with guys better than me, but you know, these guys were good. Not only were they good, they threw like a mile. I was like, oh my gosh, I had a hard time keeping up with them. I had a real hard time keeping up with them, you know. And everything that could go bad went bad for me this weekend. Everything. The wind was either going to the right or left, or we had a headwind or we had a tailwind, and you know, I was just, I all of a sudden my confidence just dropped. I was up here when I got to the park, and it just was, whoo, as soon as that wind started blowing, it just went down. And I god damn fly. And I was like, man, the first round I shot like, what was it, like 5 over, something like that. Yeah, I think I shot like 5 over. And then I was like, okay, 5 over is not great, but it's not bad. You know, maybe after lunch, because I was checking on my phone and it showed the wind was supposed to stop like after an hour. And it hadn't stopped. It was lunchtime. I was like, well, maybe. And on top of that, I'll get to that in a second. On top of that, probably because the wind started picking up, my allergies started going off. And I got this massive, massive headache. And it wasn't like up here, it was like in the back of my head, going up my neck to the back of my head. I was like, oh my God. So at lunchtime, I came home and I took, an Advil. And by the time we started our second round, my headache went away, and I was feeling a whole lot better. I was like, okay, I'm going to do good. I'm going to make up those strokes, and I'm going to at least, try to end up with even. That way I can go into the third round, giving myself a chance to try to get first, or maybe even second. At the end of the second round, again, like the wind hadn't stopped blowing. It had not stopped blowing. So at the end of the second round, I was checking the scores. No, actually at the end of the first round, I checked the scores, and I was in dead last. I was in last place in that division. I was like, oh my gosh. That's why I had on the second round I had to do good, because one of the guys that was playing with us ended up shooting like an 11 on one hole. It took him 11 strokes to get to this basket, which only took us 3 shots. So that was on the second round. So I went from being dead last to second to last, because of the mistake this guy was making. So that night I went to bed, and I was thinking when I got up in the morning, I'm going to go into this round, I'm going to try to do good, I'm going to try to make up those strokes to try to, place. Try to place. I got up that morning, and the wind was blowing, not as hard, but it was still kind of blowing a little bit, but it was so cold. It wasn't cold. It was like in the 50s. Cloudy in the 50s. Cool. I was like, oh man, this is beautiful weather to be playing some disc golf in, and I started out hot, man. Got a 3, got a birdie, got another birdie. I was like, oh man, it's going my way, right? Because at that point I was at 8 over, and I was shaving those strokes off. And then on the third hole I threw a great shot, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna go good for me today. This is gonna go great. And when I walked up to my lie, I was OB. And from that point on, again, my game was up and down. I shoot good, I shoot bad. I shoot good, I shoot bad. And I ended up shooting like 3 over that round, which overall I was like 11 over par. And I didn't move. I stayed second to last. I didn't place. I was like, oh man, this is not good. Not good. But overall, I had fun, man. I had fun. I played with some good people. Some really cool dudes. They were joking the whole time. They made those 2-3 horrible rounds a lot of fun. And I enjoyed it, even though I didn't place. You can't win them all. Last year I did win first place. This year, no, I didn't do that great. But maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll do better. Hopefully it won't be as windy as it was that weekend. That was crazy. I can't believe that. I was not prepared for that. Not prepared for the wind. But yeah, that's how this tournament went for me. And in doubles, if you're wondering, no, me and my partner didn't place. Me and my doubles partner didn't place. We lost by a stroke. So that's kind of like, that was a Friday before the tournament started. So that's kind of like, that should have been like kind of like the precursor of how the weekend was gonna go. But yeah, didn't place, but I had a good time, and I met some cool people, and you know, that's all that counts. No, it isn't. I wanted a place, to be honest with you. I really wanted a place, but hey, man, that's the way the cookie crumbles. What can I tell you? But yeah, that was my weekend. Hope all of yours was great. Hope all of yours was better than mine. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.